Well, hello. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, all over the world. Dobson 777A here. I just realized my hair's kind of messed up. Oh well. Too late now. Hey, Derek. Whew, what a week. It's kind of funny with the stuff I've been doing lately. I kind of get up when the sun gets up to feed the dogs and let them out, and then I kind of go back into bed and do some reading and stuff while the dogs are hanging it. Kind of getting back sleepy a little bit. I really don't crawl out of bed till like 8:30, 9 o'clock now, and then I kind of get started on my stuff. But I've been going to bed early, like before 10 o'clock every night now, where I used to stay up till midnight doing these YouTube videos. Yeah, I thought I'd be a little brighter tonight. I really am feeling good. I'm telling you. I don't know if you saw my post in the community tab where I call it the God Cure. What a difference. Holy mackerel. Just getting back, cleansing your body, a lot of different ways, both losing weight as well as spiritually rewriting yourself. Big difference, huge difference. So anyways, part of life, we all make mistakes. But there's two parts to it. When you go to ask for forgiveness, you need to make sure you've repented. And in the Christian life, that means you got to turn around and go the other way where you were going the wrong way before. And God commands Christians, if you've wronged somebody, if you ask for an apology and you repented, they have to accept your forgiveness. They have to forgive you, just like God will only forgive you if you repent. You can't just ask God for forgiveness without repenting, folks. You got to do both. So part of my deal here was trying to get back on a proper spiritual journey. And hey, Essential Oils, Greg Steinberg, Edgewater Heating, and Speedy 1-2. Yeah, this is by the way, this used to be really tight when I first got this. And now it's got plenty of room. Tomorrow morning, I should be below 200 pounds, which is phenomenal. I dropped 2 inches in my waist size. I actually had 4 pairs of jeans from a few years ago when I lost a bunch of weight and quickly gained it back up. My wife was too good a cook, I think. But those jeans I'm down to like a 36 instead of a 38 waist. And now they're getting sloppy. So it won't be long before I'll have to drop another size or go another belt loop, I really need to go get some blood tests to make sure I'm not causing any trouble, though, because losing this much weight this quick is not always the healthiest. But hey, I pulled a bunch of vegetables. I told you the other day that I had taken some butternut squash and cooked it up. I'm going to tell you, not my favorite, but I've been eating it. But today I took some of the corn that grew down in my, what do you want to call it, in my Three Sisters garden area. So I took 3 ears of corn and I cooked that up for dinner. Because again, I'm trying to just eat vegetables. The only problem, I'll tell you, when you're losing a bunch of weight, I don't know how many people have done kind of like a crash diet type thing. You get very cold because your body's burning. It's kind of eating itself, right? It's eating all the fat and everything. And so you end up feeling very uncomfortable. So a lot of times I'm wearing like long sleeve shirts with a t-shirt on and everything. And I have kind of like a jacket shirt that I wear also when I'm sitting around. And I had to switch to long jeans too, because you're just cold and you're wearing socks and everything. So it's kind of funny. But anyways, I have plenty of weight to lose. I need to probably get another 15 pounds, but then I got to somehow figure out how to level off and hold it, but it's much healthier. When I had my gallbladder problem, they did some ultrasound stuff and they said, "Oh my God, you got a really fatty liver." So, and the funny thing is that's normally for people that drink, and I don't drink, never have. And so I don't know. Probably I could get that test again and a lot of that would be gone now. Yeah, it's kind of insane. You think about this whole thing started about June 12th, so I'm just over a month and I'm over 30 pounds. If I was to invest in one thing, and it depends it depends. I like GDX, for instance. GDX has done very well. Franco-Nevada has done very well. Those are pretty safe. Franco-Nevada obviously is a royalty company where GDX is a large gold miner. Those two alone, if you just had two, those would be great to probably, have maybe, I don't know. You could do 50-50 probably between those two. Yeah, I don't know why I had that trouble. Probably just because I'm carrying extra weight. But I'm sure it's going down significantly now. So I talked about this last night that I'm actually kind of surprised gold and silver are holding up so well. But I think there's threats of another stimulus package, and so it may not go back down like I thought. I really expected things to kind of slump down a little bit, not a lot, but just a little bit over a long period of time, and then we'd get our next run up. But I'm hearing rumors again that we're going to have another stimulus. In fact, they're talking about stimulating folks that even go back to work and limiting the amount of unemployment, like where it's like a dollar amount, if you hit whatever the number is, I don't know what it is, $10,000, then you're done. I don't know. I'm not saying I know what the number is. I really hate this light that I put up here, but I needed more light in here, and I feel like I'm getting the third degree. Yeah, I think the improved portfolio is like 30%, but I believe the ETF portfolio, the ETF miner portfolio is like 28 or something. They're both just kicking butt, fantastic. I went through it in detail with the members the other night, Friday night. What was that, yesterday? And it was quite impressive, the number of positions we had that were 50, 60, 80, 100%. Incredible number. So we have just been killing it right now. Well, that's good, Greg. Yeah, I don't really do day trading, so I didn't pull anything out. I just kind of let it go because I know I'm on the right side of the trade. It's really hard when you pull out because you're making two decisions, when to take it out and when to put it back in. But there might be another opportunity comes along that you can take that 10% and put it in when we do some more research. I've had one sole purpose. Henry Kistner, good evening. I've been trying to do these a little bit earlier too because I can't stay up late. It was just causing me, lack of sleep is a huge driver for stress when you're already under a lot of stress. I don't know, how many of you guys are getting the feeling that something else is about to happen? Like we got hit with the COVID-19. I got a feeling something else is coming down here real soon. And I got a feeling just more another thing is just going to pile right onto us. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's going to be a natural disaster or what. I saw this video in China, and I'll try to remember put a link in here, but it was really weird. There were 3 or 4 locations across China, I mean, not even close together, where fish were jumping out of the water. And everybody was like, what is this? Does that mean we got an earthquake coming or something? And then, they did have a small one, but not a large one. But that was kind of freaking everybody out because they're already getting lots of flooding. And, the dams are at capacity. And so the Chinese people are worried that something is coming. Sydney. Hey, Adam O. Look, just try to eat more vegetables because think about carbs. Carbs is really the death of all of us because anything like potatoes and corn and those kind of things, even rice, you want to have just a little bit of that. And then the other things that are not starchy because carbs turn to sugar in your body. So you will lose a ton of weight, and especially, stay away from, they call it clean eating, right? Stay away from oils and things like that because oils have a lot of calories. But I'll give you an example. Like I said, because of this coldness that I feel in my body from this, it's not really a diet. I'm in a fasting type state here. First, it was due to the stress of my wife leaving me, but now it's just a matter of fasting, prayer, journaling, all that kind of stuff. And so I've kind of slowed the weight loss down now. And one of the things that I did is I added a little bit of cheese because cheese being dairy and also has a little bit of oil in there, that helps fight the cold feeling, but I'm still losing weight. But instead of like a pound a day, I'm dropping like a half a pound. So I make a little bit of nachos, just a small plate, because I just can't eat a lot. My stomach has shrunk so much. And so a little bit of cheese on the nachos, and that helps work through that. Yeah, I don't know that, man. I'll tell you, those fish just, they were just jumping like crazy. It reminded me, if you ever seen these guys going down to the river, and the motorboat would have like a certain frequency it would put off, and then these Asian carp would jump out of the water. That's what it looked like was happening. The whole pond or whatever was, the fish were just all jumping out of the water, yet there was nothing going on in, like a boat running down or anything else. And this, again, was happening across China. So people were like, what's going on here? Yeah, I'm feeling really good. I don't understand why I'm not getting acceptance of my apology and coming back. It just is a really strange thing because, again, the whole thing you're supposed to do is go figure out what your problems are, and then you're supposed to improve. And I did it multiple ways, right? I figured out what I was supposed to do to be a better husband as well as a better Christian. And I've asked for apology, and I've repented. So those are the things that you're supposed to do when you're a Christian. I cannot do anything else. Like I said, a couple weeks ago, I did a live stream and I said, whenever you're running through problems, all you can do is fix yourself. You can't fix the other person. So, it turns out even I know I said things that hurt her, but I was under this extreme stress from PTSD. And I've even talked about, it's like, I feel like I'm apologizing because I got cancer. And it's like, that's not what you normally do. But in any event, I have, and I'm also, I'm a better person. So I've really dug deep. If you get a chance, look at that thing I posted. I think it was this morning on the God Cure, and that'll help you if you ever get into dire straits and you got to pull yourself, like you've been digging a hole. That's what I felt like. I was digging a hole because I was just really in trouble from stress. And this thing pulled me out in like a week. Now, I'm a man of faith, so I focused on, Christian music and Christian literature. Now I'm actually working on my Bible. I'm hoping to be able to read that cover to cover in about a month. And I'm just going to keep working. But there's been no communication, and it's really disheartening because, what else are you supposed to do? The whole thing was mischaracterized because I'm not a bad person. I just was having a really difficult time with like flashbacks and stuff. It was almost like I'd been to war with the type of things that were happening to me. So don't know if it was spiritual, but the more I look at it, it was just lack of rest and things that were unresolved, and doing counseling and everything really helps. That was another key thing. It's called journaling. And I put a link to a Jordan Peterson video that helps you understand how journaling kind of organizes your mind, and you end up wrestling. I called it like wrestling with God. You're writing down all this stuff, and it's like, well, I think this is kind of what's happening. And, am I really wrong with what I did here? It really is things that have gone all the way back years. A lot of people live in the past, right? I've never tried to do that. I've always tried to forgive and forget, but sometimes you're carrying stuff in your brain, and that's where these flashbacks and things come from. So he talks about, you just got to sit down and write this stuff down, and by writing it down, it's almost like you don't even have to go to a therapist to do this, because you're kind of fixing yourself, and it helps you for the future so you don't kind of step in, because sometimes, I don't know how many people you guys have worked in like big companies. You'd be in a meeting and there'd be a lot of pressure on you. I was always like a firefighter, and sometimes the meetings don't go real well, and you weren't as prepared as you would have liked to have been. You're tired, whatever, and it ends up wearing on you. So yeah. So anyways, within a week, I feel like I'm back several years in health now. I really have made a tremendous improvement, and I can't imagine what it's going to be like after the 21 days. Yeah, that Dr. Peterson, man, I'll tell you, if you spend any time at all, there's some stuff that's just way too deep, but there's other stuff that's so focused, they'll make like a little 5-7 minute clip, and you'll sit there and just, God, how the heck does he talk this stuff right out of the top of his head? And I guess it's just because he's been doing this for 40 years, but it is amazing listening to him. I am very impressed. It'll really bless you if you watch him. And he's even though he's an academic, he's a man of faith, and it's very interesting how he explains, like, so many people say, we should just trust science, and he says, no, science is one part of what we need to be. We need to not be superstitious and everything, but faith really teaches you how to live, and it'll make you a much healthier person by learning how to treat other people and everything else. So his faith, he's always felt that is the huge part of it. Well, Adam O, I've got this chart that shows gold. Silver really is just flat for the year. It hasn't really done anything, so there's no chart that can really help silver at all, because it's been flat for 6 or 7 years now. But gold is on track for, I forget what my last prediction was. Was it like 1900 to 2000 by the end of the year? For some reason, I was thinking that was going into next year, but it's been a while since I did that. I also wondered if you guys noticed, I cleaned up like 700 old videos that were on my YouTube channel, because a lot of these were like daily reports and it didn't make sense to hold them there. So I cleaned the heck of a lot of videos out, because it just was stuff that, one, you're not getting any more views because they were for a particular point in time. And then I kept some of the other ones that were more research based. And I even got rid of, I mean, I had probably like 60 or 70 live streams. So I'm only keeping up maybe a month's worth, and I'm going to start knocking those out. But yeah, silver doesn't have enough data to make it look like we can make a prediction, because it's essentially flat for the year. But gold is, I can't remember off the top of my head. It could be 2000 by the end of the year. If you follow the, if you're a member, I put that chart in there quite often for the members to show the prediction. And it, you know, sometimes I show it out 2 or 3 years to show where we're at, but we're riding right in the middle of the channel still. It's not even running really hot at all. So red rice, lentils, oats, muesli, coconut cream instead of oils. Yeah. Fruit, vegetable, pepper, cinnamon, garlic, ginger, water, walking, preferably cycling. Yep, positive attitude. So that was one thing. I can't remember if I put it in that recipe, the God Cure. It is all about being positive. It really is. And that's why I like the Christian music. I do a lot of worship type music, and it's all extremely positive, because when you get way down, you have to rewire yourself, folks. And this is something that, you know, a lot of churches, that's what you're doing every week. You're kind of resetting yourself to get ready for the next week. So since we really haven't had that, you can do it yourself. I really like the wow and praise worship, I think it's called. I've got a whole bunch of those CDs. Yeah, monks would probably be really good. You know who I really like? The Celtic women. And you guys listen to the Celtic women? Oh my God, it's like angels. They are so beautiful sounding. We actually got to go to a show in Florida with them, and I was just, it was like one of the best shows ever. I'll never forget that show. I probably could have gone 3 days in a row to watch that. Such a great show. Yeah, you know, it's just not the same to watching it on TV as being there, being in the presence of a bunch of worshipers. I'm going to tell you the most, excuse me a second, it's probably my son. Hey, Johnny, I'm on a live stream. Can I call you afterwards? Yep. All right, love you. Bye. It's my favorite son. Let me tell you one of my favorite or most remembered worship experience. Years ago when I was a teenager, we used to go to this men's retreat in Leesburg, Florida. And I mean, this was like a very, I don't know what you call it. It's kind of like a rough, they didn't have air conditioning, you know, they just had like open air places with screens and, you know, bunk beds and all that kind of stuff. But when you got like 300 or 400 men singing hymns, and I mean, there were teenagers too, people would bring their kids or youth group or whatever, but it was amazing. It gave you chills. I'll never forget that feeling, because I just haven't really experienced it in years now, but it was amazing. Just very moving. So I don't know if any of you guys have ever had that experience, but it's, I'll never forget that to this day. You know, where I live, I'm very rural. I did notice that almost everybody's wearing masks now here. And there's no mandatory requirement to wear a mask, but I'm noticing a lot of stores now are requiring it. So I usually keep one in my truck, and I I tend to not wear one unless I have to. Like the barbershop, they want you to wear one, so I'll wear one while I get my hair cut. But it's I'm not seeing a major problem, and I've got one of my tenants is an EMT, and I'm not hearing big problems from him. But again, we're not in a city where there's millions of people either. Everything that I've seen from a lot of these states is they're doing a lot more testing, and they're showing that a lot of people have, testing positive, but the death rate's not going up. So you're testing a lot of younger people who don't necessarily are going to have a problem. And so therefore, what does it matter? Well, that's a good idea. Let the UV work on it. I should hang mine up on the mirror or something. I still have the N95 type mask, which are not really that comfortable. I need to get like a bandana somewhere. Yeah, that's like they got all upset with the spring breakers and everything. But remember, those people are not really going to have a significant problem. So what's the big deal? That's why it makes you realize there's something else going on that they're trying to. This is what is the word? Like it's a psyops. I believe this is a psyops more than anything. If you wear a mask, you can't see people smiling. You're going to have a difficult time interpreting, things that you're telling them because you can't make out the facial reactions. Keeping kids out of school is adding all kinds of stress to families. People not interacting with people at work. It's not the same on the phone and everything else. This is, I got a feeling that's what this is all about. They're trying to bring the whole country down negative to where, everybody's going to have a bad opinion of Trump, even though he's not the one really driving this. But I got a feeling that's what this is all about. But they're actually breaking up, families and everything else. This is huge stress for everybody. That's interesting about AI. Somebody sent me a link to a Facebook video of this actually really attractive female doctor that was talking about specifically the so-called vaccines and stuff that they're coming up. And it's really long, but I'll try to remember to put it up on the community tab, but everybody should kind of watch that because she explained how these aren't going to be like the normal vaccines that they're developing. These are going to be potentially affecting your DNA. They're going to modify your DNA. And it doesn't sound good, folks. It doesn't sound good at all. But when you think about, I talked about this the other night, that this COVID, we may not ever get any immunity to it because our antibodies only last a short amount of time. So what that means, oh my God, think about this. I mean, when you're young, you'll keep fighting it off like the flu every year, but eventually what happens is you get older, you start having all these comorbidities and it's just going to take you out. So our total lifespan could be shortened dramatically because of this. Hey, David Lee, OatMMC, William Fowler. I haven't read some names off. Brad and An Acuna. Universal Vibes TV. I think I caught everybody up now. Yeah, if you go look at the efficacy, I think they call it, of the flu shot, it's actually gotten lower and lower and lower, and you're actually getting I think as many as 5 variants now because they're having such a hard time guessing, and every year it still gets lower. So truthfully, I'm trying to remember how many years ago I just quit getting the flu shot because it's just a waste of time. And the funny thing is, I can't even tell you the last time I had the flu. I rarely even got the flu shot till they started giving it away free at work, and I only did it for a couple of years. So I think this whole thing of when I was a kid, if you got the chicken pox, every kid in the neighborhood, the moms would bring them to your house so they would all get chicken pox at the same time. You actually exposed your kids to it. Think about what we do today. We say, hey, go give everybody a shot instead of actually building your immunity the appropriate way. I mean, I don't remember anybody ever dying or anything. It was just, that was what you lived through. We used to have this calamine lotion or something. My mom would have a Q-tip and put it all over your body. It was ridiculous. Thanks. I love this shirt. It actually fits properly now. Yeah, the nationalization of the mines. I've covered this before. You got to remember that governments protect businesses, at least in the type of um, capitalist societies that the majority of the places we're investing in. But they end up screwing the citizens. So more than likely, you're not going to see nationalization unless you're in, let's talk about like third world countries or something. Those you have more of an opportunity. But yeah, the shark guy died from a shark attack, and they said he died from COVID. There was actually a big deal in Florida where some guy died in a motorcycle accident, and the medical staff wrote it down as COVID. Again, remember, they get a big check if it's COVID. So the police officer was like, no, I saw the body kind of spread apart the whole road here. There was no COVID involved. They said, well, you never know. He could have passed out because he had COVID. It's like ridiculous. You know, this is all screwed up. Yep. So the other thing I heard about was the testing for the COVID is, people are getting tested multiple times and they're counting those as different people. They're not keeping track that it's the same person getting tested, 3, 4 times. So that's blowing up the numbers. Jim Richter's in the house. I guess we can shut her down now. He's here. I'm just kidding. Yeah, there's an incentive for the hospitals to tag everything COVID because I forget, it's a major factor increase in what they get paid if they mark it as COVID. Yeah, that's what I remember, but I don't remember what it was if it wasn't COVID. But yeah, it's a big number, 13K at least. Yeah, this even our New York guy, he ended up putting older folks with COVID in nursing homes and ended up killing a bunch of people and then tried to blame Trump. It was like, what an idiot. You could tell what they're doing. I'm just wondering what next is coming down. Are we going power outage? By the way, go look at, I don't know who your carrier is, but my son, I think, is T-Mobile. And I looked at the outage maps for T-Mobile, and it's still huge areas of the country are down. So I forgot to look at Verizon to see what that was doing, but they're still blocking a lot of communications, trying to knock down, I think, all of this hooligans doing stuff. Spanish Mountain, I don't know. What is that? Is that a minor? I'm not familiar with that. Man, I had to pay a lot of Georgia state taxes this year. It really hurt me bad. Didn't have taxes in Florida, but we had very high insurance down there for, hurricanes and whatever. They kill you on that. And then you end up paying for other people's insurance as well. If I had to do it over again, I probably would have liked to move to the northern part of the state. Maybe like between Jacksonville and Pensacola, somewhere up there. Get away from, where you have the high winds and a lot less expensive. But then, of course, I'd be away from fishing. But I moved up here and I really haven't gone fishing anyway. So the sun will spit next cycle. Good news will stop ID 2020. I don't know what that means. I know the sun is in a solar minimum, and I'm not sure how high it's going to go for the solar maximum this period, but it looks like we're dropping at least 30% every 11-year cycle. So it wouldn't surprise me if we are significantly down over this next cycle. Yeah, I love Pensacola. My dad was stationed there. That was a beautiful base living on NAS Pensacola. How long will people be allowed to not pay rents? So I had to file some paperwork last week, and I called them and said, or maybe it was this week. I think, Friday, the week before I filed. And you could do it all online now. And I called them Monday and said, hey, what's the backlog? He said, oh, we don't really know. Call me tomorrow. And so I called the next day and said, we have no idea, but it's weeks. So they are starting the courts back up again, and they're only doing, maybe like 50% capacity is what they've done before. So it's going to be a problem. Clayton Lancaster, he was Patriot Man. Why'd you check? Did you get banned or something? You had to change your name? Yeah, a lot of these bases, they're filled up, and they built another one north of Atlanta over here, brand new area, because we have so many veterans. So I'm curious. I know NAS Pensacola is a really big area. It's been years and years since I was there. Let me think about that. 1977. That's how long ago I was there. Yeah, the commercial real estate, that's the biggie because nobody's able to pay rents. In fact, don't quote me on this, but like Nordstrom, they said they're only going to pay half rent until next year. So that's one of them, but there's a lot of them because they just don't have the money. So the Q movement, it's kind of interesting. I've been following. I can't think of the name of it right now, but I haven't just had time. And again, my focus is on something else right now. But there's some things that are interesting that have come out. But truthfully, you just haven't seen any of the arrests. You haven't seen. Of course, they don't always tell you everything either, right? That's going on. You find out about years later, but it just seems like nothing's happened like they said it was going to be, and it's been years that they've been doing this. So it's kind of hard to be full bore Q, right? Where we go one, where we go all. Yeah, I think there's some predictive stuff that's going on. It almost seems like, again, like another little psyops for the good guys. They're trying to show that, hey, we're doing something, or get you at least thinking positively. But I don't know. It sounded really good for most of last year. I was following it, and nothing ever really came to pass. X22, that was the name of it. I couldn't think of the name of the thing. I haven't really followed that in a long time, mostly because they're so doggone long. And I'm trying to, like I said, focus on myself right now, just stay completely relaxed. I'm doing a lot of spiritual stuff, still journaling a lot. It really helps me. So yeah, 80 ounces. Let me think about that. So that's 160,000 right now. Oh, there he goes. So do you have two channels now? Is that why you kind of go back and forth, Patriot Man? I have another channel too, but I haven't, since I've been on this other quest, I haven't messed with that at all. I'm starting another backup channel. What was the name of that? Only the Strong Survive. You might want to look that up. I put one video out there right now, and I'm going to start populating some things out there. Little bit different channel. Just in case this one, I noticed that mine leveled off at about 6,000, and it really hasn't done anything yet. So I was going gangbusters there for a while, and then it just kind of leveled off even before I've kind of taken my little sabbatical. I appreciate y'all's patience. I'm trying to get a video in at least twice a week, and then I do the live stream, and I try to do one of those videos during the week as a premiere so that I can chat with you real time while it's going. Now, another thing I've been doing for the members is when I post a video, if you watch it within the first hour, you're probably going to be commercial free, because there's this checking thing that YouTube does, and sometimes it takes a long time. So the same thing when I do a premiere, I usually launch it before YouTube's done all the checking for the, what do you call it, the advertising, monetization and stuff. And so you usually get to see it without commercials. But I've gone back and watched some of these, and they don't, I'm not seeing super long commercials. They're usually pretty quick. So I don't think it's been too aggravating for you. I'm also trying to see what they're putting up. It's kind of funny. A lot of times it's video games and stuff. It's like, I don't know if my audience is really into that much, but they probably look at the fact that I have, what do I have? Probably 90% male. I used to be interested in video games, but I was never addicted. I played a few, and then I just realized it's kind of just a waste of time. I'd rather go learn something. Yeah, I'm trying to share with you what I'm learning, and I'm trying to share with you how, I mean, I hope you can tell. I mean, I feel amazing for like a month when that thing first happened, maybe 3 out of the 4 weeks. I had this tremendous tightness, like in here, and that's a stress thing. Um, that's gone, and I mean, the just the overall positive outlook. It just feels so much better. Yeah, look at the community tab. I put something up there of what I'm going through. I've been fasting for over a week right now, and I it's been a huge help. From what I understand, if you really want to get God's attention, this is part of the repentance stage, and you're trying to get as close as you can. And um, it's good for your body too. There's a lot of people do what they call intermittent fasting. This is more of a hardcore thing that I'm going through right now. Yeah, I hadn't thought about that. The stock twits. $6,000 at, I don't know where Texlian is. What is that? Yep. Yeah, right now I'm not really looking at trying to grow the channel right now until I get through whatever this thing is God's got me in right now. Oh, tax lien. Okay. I thought it was a place you were like in Texas, a city. I'm with you now. Okay, sorry. Um, yeah, I'm trying to just get through this tough time and figure out where I'm going because this could screw me up for 6 months to a year. Then I'll figure out what's going to happen after that. But right now, I'm all about reconciliation because this is sinful. 35 years trying to go for a divorce, no counseling. Um, can't say that I'm not apologized. Can't say that I haven't repented. So all of this stuff is kind of not looking good for her on how she should be handling this. So I'm trying everything I can to try to get back together and see. But it may not be meant to be, folks. It just may not meant to be. I'm never giving up hope until it's done. Right? That's what you need to do. What's really sad is I've watched a lot of videos, and there's a lot of statistics where after people divorce, the person that wanted the divorce, they come back like a year later and say, I really screwed up. Take me back. And a lot of people do, but man, I'll tell you, after dragging you through something like this, boy, you got to be a really big person to do that. Holy mackerel. That's going to be tough. Think about it. Especially when, adults normally will sit down and say, okay, this isn't working. Let's go do it. And it's almost like a business decision. If you do that, that's a different story because it's amicable. But when one person just pulls up and takes, the thing, that's not the way adults do things. Yeah. Yeah. It's not that I would be enemies, but it's like, how would you say it? It's like, I'm not even sure I'm going to be in this area. I'm just going to pull up stakes and go somewhere. It's like, the world is a big place. I got maybe 20 years left, so it might be time to go explore another area. Yeah, I'm telling you, that was a bad day. Turns out that was the preschool that did it, but she could have stopped it about calling the cops. Yeah, I've turned it over, but at the same time, you know, this is kind of, it's just tough. It's just really a tough thing. You think about for 35 years, you come home and there's been somebody there. And I would argue 99.9% of the time, we had good times. It was only in the last couple of years where we went through so many trials with the parents and everything. That's it. And it just kind of stressed me out, retiring early and all the expenses from that. And it just finally got to me. So, but I figured out how to dig myself out. Mississippi. So it's kind of funny. I had found a place where there was like 40 acres. They have a lot of places where it's like woodland, and this was kind of they harvest the trees periodically. I don't know what the frequency is. It's like every 10 or 20 years, but it was 40 acres of woodland, but it was on a hill and it wasn't as profitable as some of the other things. And I thought, oh my gosh, that would be fantastic to carve like a road up to the top, put your house up on the top up there, and then be able to look down, because this hill was like right in the middle of 40 acres. So you think about it's a quarter mile by quarter mile all the way around this thing, and you could be up on the top looking all over the place. That would have been a fantastic looking property. Barbara Adams, Noah T. Yep. Yeah, I remember you telling me, Tony Tran, about losing your dang gold. At least you didn't lose your life. Well, I'll tell you, I got to cut this off because my son wants to talk, and I love talking to him. So we got almost an hour in here. So I appreciate everybody coming. I'll see what's going on tomorrow to see if I can get a video out. But I like to get some of the videos on the weekends because I know all you guys have more time to be able to watch things. But we'll keep an eye out for signs because I have a feeling. I got a feeling something else is coming right now. Something's about to happen. And I don't know if this is God telling me this or if this is just watching these different things happening across the world. I got a feeling something big is about to happen. And I don't know if it's going to be an environmental type thing where we have major earthquakes or volcanic or, meteor, something feels like something big is about to happen. So y'all be safe out there and, keep working on your preps. We're definitely going to see more food shortages and stuff. So do what you can to make sure that you've stockpiled. I love all y'all. Do the best you can. God bless.